Welcome to the Money Manifestation Mastery Podcast with your host, Lara Waldman, where we talk all things money. Big money, big purpose, big power. Waking up your wealth for heart-centered business owners and entrepreneurs. This week, I've had some incredible wealth expansion sessions that I wanted to share with you. My wealth expansion sessions are currently free calls that I offer where we take a look at what's going on in your business, in your finances, and your life, the number one problem or challenge that you're facing. And then we look at what it is that you want, your desires, what you want to manifest. And then I help you see what's going on in your inner game that is unconsciously creating your current results and what needs to shift and change for you to create the results that you truly desire. These are truly exceptional sessions and they are available to you if you wish to apply for one. You can head over to my website, larawaldman.com, click on Breakthrough, book a call time, answer all the questions, and we can have a beautiful deep dive very soon. I've had a number of calls with men this week that I have deeply cherished. I am very moved when people feel safe to open their hearts and to be vulnerable and to share with me what they're challenged by, what they're struggling with. And historically, I've worked with a lot of women, and I just love having vulnerable, heartfelt conversations with men, with all people. But it has really touched my heart, the depth of honesty, vulnerability, and openness that's been happening in some of these conversations this week. And it is my gift and my pleasure to help illuminate where you are unconsciously blocking yourself from receiving what you want. The challenge of this, and the challenge of even talking with you about it, is that we are in a blind spot. We are in a place that you cannot see. What you experience are the frustrations of not getting the results that you want, the setbacks, the challenges, the pain, the difficulty, not having your needs met, working really hard to not get the result that you want. And it's immensely frustrating. It's like bashing your head against a brick wall sometimes. Or maybe you feel deeply frustrated with yourself because you are unable to take the action that you know you need to take. You're just getting in your own way, procrastinating, distracting, getting caught up in everything else but the thing that you're supposed to be doing. I've done all of it. I totally get it. It's really frustrating and difficult. And yet there is this absolutely beautiful piece of this work that is my passion to help you find, help you see, help you identify, and then help you to turn around, a process I call rewire to receive. One of the men I was speaking to this week is a high-level investor. He's in the banking and investing industry, and he noticed a theme over many years that just when he's on the brink of landing a big contract or finally getting the financial win, the big goal that he's been working towards, something wrong happens. It falls out. He loses it. And it's happened so many times now that he was finally ready to lean in and get some support with this. And the answer to this problem of why this keeps happening, obviously there's practical pieces, but the inner game is that there is a part of him that doesn't know how to receive. And this part is a very small part. It's a very young part. And this is a part that hasn't felt loved, hasn't felt safe, hasn't felt met, hasn't been mentored. And these parts then learn how to create from hard work, from push, from force, and in a way, from a place of trying to prove their worth to the outside world. And this can create a lot of results. This guy is very successful. He's at a very high level of the game that he plays, but he can't quite land what he really wants. Some things have been working out, but not to the level that he wants it. And then I was able to help him see what was going on inside of him, this place where he can't receive. And this place where he can't receive creates a lot of hard work, a lot of proving his worth, a lot of hustle, a lot of drive. It's a pushing energy, but it's not a receiving energy. And that pushing energy unconsciously actually pushes away the very thing that he wants. And it's so interesting to see how these parts are playing out. And it is my passion and joy and pleasure to help you love these parts into life. The challenge with these parts that don't know how to receive is they have created a lot of defenses, barriers, protection, because deep inside they feel deeply vulnerable. They're sensitive. They're sad. They're lonely. They don't feel worthy. They don't feel good enough. And no one wants to feel that feeling or those feelings. No one wants to feel vulnerable or feel lonely. So we distract, we armor up, we do all sorts of things to not feel those feelings. And not only that, you've created a lot of strategies that do create results. You've got coping strategies or personality patterns that help you to create in your life. And they may create, and they do create to a certain level, but they don't actually create the results that you truly desire. And often you're creating results from a lot of hard work and hustle or from a lot of stress, rather than tapping into your manifestation master within, this incredible power inside of you that actually knows how to draw towards you and receive what you want. And this is where manifestation can feel very magical and where suddenly things just land into your life seemingly out of nowhere. And I want to empower you to understand what's going on with this process, the inner workings, the mechanics of manifestation, and help you see where you are unconsciously blocking yourself from receiving what you want. Find that part and then turn it around. The challenge is it requires vulnerability. It requires you to open. And I am always deeply touched and honored when people feel safe to open to me. And this is what happens on these calls, is a beautiful, heartfelt opening. We create a safe space to be with that vulnerability, to be with the shame, to be with the fear, to be with the not good enough, and hold a safe space for that part. Because when that part of you feels safe and held and loved and met, it will relax, it will release the defenses and the armor, and it will allow yourself to drop in, I call it embody your wealth, to connect to who you are growing and evolving into next, and then open up the doors to receiving. Receiving is a vulnerable experience because it requires you to be open to the unknown, open to the risk of life, rather than controlling and protecting yourself from loss, from failure, from being hurt. But remember that all of these protection patterns are mostly unconscious, or they're firing off without any thought whatsoever. It gets activated through your nervous system and creates what I call misaligned action or reactive action. So this part of you that doesn't know how to receive is causing a lot of problems in your life. It's causing problems in your business. It's causing problems in your bank account. It's causing problems in your personal life. And if you want to release your money blocks, so release the blocks to stepping into that next level in your business and your finances and your life, this needs to be addressed. And I would say that this is one of my superpowers. As soon as you tell me the problem that you're experiencing, I can see exactly where the root is, almost immediately. And I want to help you see it and understand it and identify it. The problem is it's counterintuitive, it's illogical, it doesn't really make logical sense. How is this small little part causing problems in my business? One way to think about it maybe is to think about the power of a newborn baby. If you've ever had children, I used to think, how can something so small have so much power? Through their crying, through their needs, everything gets focused on this tiny little baby. if you've ever tried to get a 2-year-old to do something they don't want to do, or a 3-year-old to get something they don't want to do. That's a mastery in itself. It's not that dissimilar to these parts within yourself. They are often little children. They're underdeveloped aspects of the self. They're very powerful. And they create in your business. They create in your finances. And mostly they create a lot of problems when they're unheld, unloved, unmet. Now, the good news is if you can turn this around, transform your blocks to receiving and open up to receive, this same part of you that's been a problem for you, that's been blocking you or stopping you or keeping you in a spin, unable to move forward, actually is a creative genius. It has superpowers. It has wisdom. It has energy. It has ideas. They're often quite fun and playful and think outside of the box. So if you can get this part of you on board, they're also a key player in the next level of your business and finance. It's an aspect of yourself that has just been buried, hidden, blocked. So this is the gift of things not working. This is the gift of problems in your business. This is the gift of setbacks and failures. This is the gift of not getting what you want and not having your needs met. You get to meet these parts of yourself if you're willing to work with it consciously and mindfully. So the first step is to acknowledge the problems, acknowledge the challenges, stop avoiding them, stop pretending that they're not there, stop buffering, acknowledge them, face them, meet them, name them, so that we can actually start to shift and change them. And this is what we do on the wealth expansion calls. We look at it. We look exactly where you are. And there's a lot of great things that are happening with where you are. And there are some very real challenges that need addressing. And if you don't address them, you're just going to either keep in the spin or keep in the cycle, or things get worse and the pressure builds. So the sooner you can address it, the better. But unfortunately, human beings don't tend to change until things have gone too far. So my invitation is don't wait. Don't wait for that point. Get on the front foot. Get on the front foot. And let's get focused on what you do want, right? When we can really, really get clear on what you want, that cuts through the crap and that helps to become the anchor for where you're going, or the point on the map that's going to give you the focus, the direction to navigate from where you are now to where you want to be. And we need to get all parts of you on board. I call this integrated wealth. We need to bring all parts of you home to get all parts of you in the game. And this is a bit of a journey because some parts of you don't want to get in the game. Some parts of you are hiding. Some parts of you are in avoidance. Some parts of you are in protection. Some parts of you are scared. And we need to get all of those parts coming home so you can be in integrity with yourself. Parts that aren't in alignment with you are out of integrity. And this is where we see a lot of shadow. We see a lot of really interesting behavior showing up in business and finance and our personal lives. Now, I like to hold space for all of these parts with so much love and curiosity and compassion and kindness. There's zero judgment, but we do need to see it. We need to name it. And so we can transform it and alchemize it. And the key to doing this is so interesting. And I would absolutely love to support you with this. It is a super interesting, super powerful, and kind of unexpected place when it comes to manifestation mastery. So if you want help to see, know, uncover, and discover where you're blocking yourself from receiving what you want, it would be my absolute pleasure to illuminate this. This is one of my gifts. I can see it almost immediately. And I will help you to see what's going on inside of you. We'll get really clear on what's going on in your inner game, and also help you get really clear on what you want, what you truly desire, that heart, body, soul align want, which will help you get into flow and help you to create true fulfillment and get you back in alignment with yourself, back in the game of creation. And I would be delighted to hold space for you. So if you would like to apply for my free wealth expansion session, head over to my website, larawaldman.com, click on Breakthrough. You choose the time and day that works for you, and then you answer questions about where you are in your business and your life. Please answer all of the questions. It takes a few minutes to fill out, but it will really help me support you best having that information for our call. It is a very transformational call. People after these sessions will often message me with incredible shifts, changes, and results just from this free call alone. And of course, if you want to find out how I can support you beyond this call, we can talk about that at the end. I've got my Living Abundance Mastermind program, I have my Living Abundance Leaders program, and I have my one-to-one VIP offer as well. And once I have an idea of where you are and what you want, we can figure out what the best next step is for you. So thank you so much for joining us for today's conversation. I am delighted you joined us. I would love to know what's landing for you. Please send me a message me on social media or send me an email. What is landing for you? Let me know if you have any questions. And also, if you have any subjects that you'd like me to cover, please ask, because I have so much to share with you and I want to know what you want to hear, what you want to learn. I would be delighted to know what it is that you want and to dedicate a podcast to you. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this podcast, follow this podcast to never miss an episode. And I look forward to being with you again next time. See you then.